Does anybody else have this problem that whenever they're sad, they find themselves thinking about more sad things? You know, kind of like, well, I don't do this, but when you break up and like you listen to sad music, but you know, I haven't been feeling well lately. Today wasn't too bad, but I just, you know, emotionally I'm having a hard time right now. But and not to mention that it's May, and May is one of the most difficult months for me. You know, not only is it, I think, Tourette's Awareness Month, but it's a month that my dad died from cancer. It's a month that my grandma passed. It's also my dad's birthday, and it's also my grandma's birthday, and it's my birthday. And there's probably a couple other like crazy days in May, but it's just like a mixed bag. Like this whole month is just crazy for me. But so it's no wonder that I found myself thinking about my father today while waiting for the bus. And I miss him tremendously. You know, I lost my dad to pancreatic cancer when I was 21. I had like turned 20. I was turning 22 the year that he passed. He got diagnosed the same year that he retired from teaching, which is crazy. And 8 months later, he had passed. And it just took me by surprise. But one of the things that I found myself wishing that he could teach me right now is like entrepreneurship. Because my father, sorry, there's all this noise. My father knew how to manage real estate, right? I mean, he was a teacher, but he also managed real estate. And like, I wish that we had a good enough relationship for him to teach me those skills. We didn't have a good relationship, and not to mention that, you know, I was focused on becoming a musician, you know, as a teenager and as a young adult. So I had like zero interest in real estate. Like, I can't emphasize enough how little I cared about it. And you know, now that I'm older and like I kind of see his perspective more, I totally understand why he was so focused on real estate. And I mean, not to mention he was a teacher. Like, my dad taught English. But so, you know, now that you have more context about my father, right, I found myself thinking about how some people don't have fathers. Like, they just, their father wasn't in their life, and they don't even know who he is. So but then I thought, you know, there's more than one way not to have a father, right? If you have a workaholic parent, which I did, my dad was a workaholic. I mean, he was working 2 jobs. He was emotionally distant as a father. You know, I didn't really get hugged a lot by him. Like, I had to hug him. But my point is that, you know, not only was he not home a lot just due to the, you know, managing real estate and being an English teacher, when he was home, he was doing work. Like, he would like bring his work home with him. So what I think a lot of people do, I think workaholic parents substitute being a parent for workaholism. Because, you know, look, people take the path of least resistance, right? If it's easier for you to become an NBA player than it would be for you to become a surgeon, obviously you're going to become an NBA player. For him, the path of least resistance was working. He was working in real estate. He was being a teacher, and like, he was doing the things that he loves to do, right? So, I mean, I think it's important to do the things that you love to do, but you can't neglect your relationships. You know, if you're substituting a relationship with your family for your job, then that's not right. And I mean, that's not the same thing as working 2 jobs because you need the money, right? Like, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when you have enough money and you're just kind of doing a side hustle because you enjoy it. And I mean, for like the investment opportunity too. I mean, I see that. Like, I don't want to sound ungrateful in this video, but what I'm saying is that I wish I had a relationship with my father. And if he had not passed away from cancer, I know that our relationship probably would have improved, or I shouldn't say I know. I suspect that it would have, right? So it's just something that I found myself thinking about. I try not to do the what ifs. I try not to look too far back in my past because it fucks up my neck, literally, because, you know, I'm looking at my past. Kind of some humor here, but and I already have neck pain anyway. But my point is, I'm gonna be thinking about him a lot this month because he passed away May 18th. So I don't know. I just found myself thinking about these things, not really Tourette's related, but it's an important event for me. So I hope you're all well. I hope your week is going well, and I'll hop in as soon as I can. I'll start posting again as soon as I can. That's what I meant.